Okay, so we are back, and we are on stage 3, I believe. I also noticed that I was using the outdated background that said, Brawlers. Now, it's interesting because I actually mentioned before, I think one of the times that I actually streamed this game, enemies being a little bit out of place in some areas. And they went back and fixed that, it seems, you know, with the new enemy placement. This chick with the bat here, I actually feel like she fits the earlier stages better than the chick with the axes. Like in the earlier version, she was actually in the earlier stages. I feel like if anything, they should probably switch the two around. They kind of do the same thing, you know. They have the same AI patterns, so there really isn't a difference between them other than visuals. You know, the way that their movements and everything go are pretty much the same, you know. And I don't want to say that this game needs more variety in enemies, because I feel like it has a pretty decent variety of enemies. I just think it needs something a little bit more cohesive when it comes down to enemy, the enemy placement and enemy combinations. But either way, you know, I'm actually really glad that they took a lot of my advice into consideration. You know, by the end of the day, it's their game, so you know, it's whatever they want to do with the game, you know. But you know, for them to actually take what I say into consideration is nice. You know, I actually really appreciate it. Ah, crap! I don't know why I did that. Yeah, see, this level in particular is running pretty slow, but it's not to the, like I said, it's not to the unbearable amount that it was before, where things were just not responding for me. I also feel like maybe bikers are more annoying because I actually have to get used to the fact that, you know, my jump attacks against them. Well, I mean, I guess the jumping punch could work too, but I'm so used to having a jump kick. Ah, crap. That's another thing. I don't. You know, that's another thing. There's times where the jump feels a little weird. Like, for some reason, like, it feels like I will have a static jump instead of a forward jump. One sec. Had to make another cut. Okay, so yeah, there's times where for some reason I'll have a static jump instead of a forward jump, and that's during a run. I don't know if it's because, you know, like, I'll probably have a habit of like stopping my run right before I jump, but I don't know. I feel like you should jump forward when you're still running, you know. Even if you stop running right beforehand, like, I don't think you should. It's probably just a matter of the fact that, like, there's like an actual button dedicated to running, so whenever you let go of that button, like, you're not running anymore. I think I have a habit of letting go of that button right before I jump, so there's times I may not jump forward because of that. So it's a little weird. I'm not really a big fan of the items disappearing either. It just feels like, it just feels unnecessary. It just seems like they're rushing you to grab items for no reason. No reason at all. Like, items don't feel like they're that important that I gotta stop fighting to go grab them. So to just kind of have them disappearing like that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. See, okay, so I didn't notice that the first time I went back and played, but apparently you can still get hit while throwing, which I still think is a bad idea. And these guys also have a habit of doing full combos in the air. Like, I can understand if they jab at you and they kind of miss, but they'll actually just go through their whole combo. I think if anything, if they miss, they should just stop their combo and just, you know, go after you. I don't know. I think enemies just need to be more aggressive in this game. It just feels like they're not being aggressive at all. And again, you know, going right back to it, I think that's what makes these bikers annoying too, is that they don't really, because the enemies don't move fast, the bikers don't move fast. So they get on screen, you know, every now and then you got somebody like this guy who just straight up run you over, but, you know, other times they'll just pop up on screen and take forever to move. You know, I think there's a balance to, you know, how Streets Rage 2 and 3 do it, where, you know, bikers just kind of pop on screen and then they drive at you. You know, they chase you down. There's a balance to it because, you know, because they do that, they're predictable. Meaning, you know, you don't have to, I think you lose rage meter too, actually, whenever you get hit. Which I'm not a big fan of, actually, to be honest with you. It doesn't really seem consistent either. So I know there's been times I got hit. Oh, what the hell? Oh yeah, the well. I forgot about that. That's weird. I thought the well doesn't pop up until you kill all these enemies here. Wow, I got killed. See, it's just stuff like that that will actually kill you. It's just getting caught off guard here and there. And like I said, that just doesn't feel rewarding to me, to say, oh, I beat this game on hard. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, if you pretty much move around enough, you can actually pretty much avoid getting hit, because, you know, like I said, the only time they're really gonna hit you is when they catch you off guard. Huh, there was not even a health item in there anyway, so. Still, sucks is that I died here, because there is a health item there. I think it just feels kind of like how Streets of Rage 3 is with their damage boosting, where the enemies don't feel like they deserve it, you know? They don't feel like they deserve the hit that they scored on you, let alone the damage. You know, when enemies in Streets of Rage 2 or even games like Final Fight, when, you know, when they hit you, it feels like they actually deserved it, because it, you know, their AI is aggressive enough and smart enough to score that hit. Here, it's just like, yeah, they'll hit you if you're not paying attention. That's about it. And that guy shot me because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't necessarily paying attention to where he was standing. And of course, I don't mind that I died there because I had, I didn't have that much life left right there. So yeah, that's my only gripe with damage boosting, is that you have to do it right. Like fighting rage, for example, like the damage boost infuriates me just the same, but enemies in that game, when they hit you, you know they earned that hit. Because you can parry, you can special, you got vertical movement, you got vertical running. You have like every option known to man to avoid their hit. Not to mention you have a vast number of combos and stuff like that to control the crowd with. So when they hit you, as infuriating as it can be, they earn that hit. Oops. Man, playing with the Horde Commander, by the way. I'll probably show it on screen in a second. But the pause button is like, there's not enough space between the pause button and like the X button. They're like right next to each other. So I'll pause when I'm like trying to punch. See, like that guy, he actually scored a hit there. That was weird. Like, you see how long they just kind of stand there? They just stand there forever. And then when they walk so slow. So it's like when they hit you, it's like, yeah, it didn't even feel like they deserved it. It just felt like you were just not paying attention. It makes you feel dumb, basically. It makes you feel dumb for getting hit. Yeah, see, it's not okay, I got hit. Let me, oh wow, I actually lost the credit there. It's not okay, I got hit, let me do something. It's, wow, why did I even get hit? You know? And the funny thing is, I feel like if I wasn't commentating it or recording, I probably wouldn't even have died there. Because I'm still trying to focus on talking and recording and playing at the same time. You know, making sure this thing's recording properly at the same time that I'm playing. I might actually do a sprite of the cast. I think I'm going to do a sprite of the cast and post it up on Twitter or something. Because like I said, you know, it's always been a thing where I want to like this game. And at the time, you know, I just couldn't because it had so many flaws that made it fall short. It's pretty bad. And I think it's funny because I bring up Streets of Rage 3 because it has that same kind of feeling. You know, yeah, it's not as bad as, you know, your typical bad brawler. Like, I would not place it in that kind of category. But it's like when you have a game that comes from a line of quality beat 'em ups. You know, Streets of Rage 1, you know, while it didn't it didn't age very well, it's still functional, it's still decent to play. You can still have fun with it. You know, Streets of Rage 2, you know, while it's not perfect, for a couple of things, couple of oversights or whatever, it's really solid. You know, it's a really solid thing. And then you have, of course, the Japanese version, Bare Knuckle 3, where, you know, yeah, the game's easy, but because of all the upgrades and stuff, like the game feels really smooth to play. So when you jump into like something like Streets of Rage 3, where they fix certain things that were actually really great and flaws in Bare Knuckle 3, but then it turns around and it does stuff that, like, you know, boosting, damaging, you know, removing difficulties, not allowing you to finish the game on certain difficulties, which, you know, I don't really have an issue with that either, in some cases. Basically, I should say, boosting enemy damage when the character damage output has already been nerfed as is. Like, I think that's the biggest issue. You know, characters were already nerfed to balance things out. You know, so at that point, really, you just needed to make the enemies more aggressive. You know, even if you wanted to add life bars, you know, add the life bars, but just make the enemies more aggressive. Make them hit more often. You know, there's no point in having them boost damage. You know, stuff like that's fine in like Streets of Rage 1, which is a little bit more simple. Or, you know, even in Fighting Rage, you know, it's okay there when you have a slew of different defense options, you know. But, you know, Streets of Rage 3, you don't have that. For one, you don't have the ability to run diagonally. I think that alone would just be a huge game changer for that game. That would be a huge game changer. You know, just being able to run diagonally would give you more defensive options, I think. So yeah, just not be able to run vertically alone limits you in a way where, like, where you have enemies and stuff doing, you know, insane amount of damage. It just doesn't feel good, you know. Feels like I'm being robbed when the enemy actually hits me, because, like I said, the AI, you know, some enemies are a little bit smarter and they're pretty decent with their AI. Others are just kind of like, well, what are you doing? You know. But then you'll have those same enemies that have really dumb AI that, you know, they'll rarely hit you because they're so dumb. But then when they do hit you, they take off a good chunk of your health, and you're like, what? You didn't deserve that hit, you know? I feel like that's the same thing here with this game. Like, enemies are taking chunks off my health, and I'm not even noticing it because, again, it doesn't match up with how the AI itself is working. They move so slow, and they take so long to hit you, you know. Okay, had to make another cut. Yeah, that's just one of the very few gripes I have, you know. And like I said, I know it seems like I beat up on Streets of Rage 3 a lot, but it's mainly because I play I play that series the most. It's actually more noticeable in other games, but I play that series the most, so that's what I reference a lot. And like I said, that series is, you know, really solid when it comes down to the genre. And it left behind so much for other beat 'em ups to learn from. So when I see like newer beat 'em ups doing stuff that, you know, just didn't feel right in the games, you know, because like I said, you know, there's some stuff that I definitely don't agree with, even in my Streets of Rage 2 and 1, that I'll see beat 'em ups do and think to myself, why are they doing this when they have, you know, when they have yeah, you can't grab either. I think that's kind of dumb to not be able to grab. See, there goes the well again. Okay, so I guess the well spawns prior to these enemies spawning. I don't know, maybe he was, I don't know, the last time I spawned there was no enemies on screen when the okay, the gun disappeared instead of hitting him. Okay, so I guess I'll show off Rage now. I'm thinking this is the track by Yuzo. So yeah, I guess this Rage will get me fast enough. See, I could even block explosions. I kind of think that's a little bit dumb, but I mean, it's a beat 'em up. You know, it's Rage mode. I guess I could kind of let that one slide. Kind of chalk that up to beat 'em ups being over the top. It seems like enemies want to try to attack you quicker too when you're in Rage mode, which is kind of funny. You know, at that point it's a little bit too late for them to be trying to attack you. Yeah, see, every now and then they'll actually try to surround you and hit you like what she just did there. In those instances, it's actually kind of annoying because they're, for some weird reason, they'll do that and I'm not able to grab them. I don't know if that's like a glitch or what, but okay. That's weird. That's strange. You notice the stage wasn't moving when I wasn't on the elevator, which is cool, makes sense, I guess, but it's like, why didn't you just kind of have the barrier there to begin with? Like, why let me walk off the elevator? Like, I think that's just asking for a glitch to happen. Yeah, see, just like what she did right there, I actually felt like she deserved that hit there, because she took the opportunity to hit me. Took the proper opportunity to hit me there. Instead of what these guys are usually doing, where they just move really slow and like don't even they don't even hit you properly. Like, they hit you and you're just like, how did that even happen? It just feels, I don't know, I'm still going on about it. It just feels inconsistent, you know. They're moving slow 1 second, and all of a sudden they jab you. It's like, okay. It's not like they speed walk or run at you or something, and then they hit you, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can see why. You know, I was able to telegraph that they were going to actually try to hit me there because they're rushing at me. It's like, no, they're just kind of multi around, like, you know, like they got all day to do this. And then next thing you know, they actually hit you. Okay, I can't hit him until he gets back on screen. That's another thing I noticed too. I think enemies stay on screen this time, which is a really nice improvement, because man was it annoying when they would come on screen and then they would just back off, and I'm just like, why? Why do I gotta sit here and wait? Like that's another reason why I don't like, you know, how slow these guys move, is because when they did that, it's like they would take forever to get back on screen, you know. Okay, so and I still got hit by a grenade. That actually sucks. Well, I gotta go forward, okay. Yeah, loading time still. That was weird, okay. See, then you get random stuff like that too. You're just like, what? I mean, it's a sewer, I guess, but I don't know. That's just like, what is up with that? Like, what is the reasoning behind that being there? I feel like that was just an added hazard to just like, you're just like, what? Yeah, this game has a lot of random stuff sometimes that just, it makes you wonder. I actually seen a kickboxer drop a grenade after I killed him, and I'm like, well, where would he even have that grenade stashed? Why would he have a grenade on him? So there's random stuff like that too. It's like, why would he drop a grenade? I feel like guns are a bit, it's really weird, you know, how overpowered guns are, but you don't feel the need to use them. Like, unless you have those moments where, like, you're really surrounded, which I actually probably should have done earlier. I wouldn't have lost any lives if I did, but I don't think they do it because, like I said, these enemies don't make you feel the urgency to do anything. Like, even with my special move, I don't feel the urgency to press special, because it feels like when they hit me or something, like it's just something that I could probably counter with a jab, which in this game you actually can't, because, you know, your recovery from a hit is pretty low. It actually takes you a good minute to recover from them jabbing you, so you can't actually respond the quick jab, which is another weird thing about this game. It's like their hits are so weak and visually weak that you think you would be able to like respond quickly with the jab, but you can't. So you don't actually think to use your special. Like right there, you know, that guy jabbed me. And he only jabbed me because he jabbed me right in the middle of a throw. You're not recovering from a throw, but in the middle of a throw, he just jabbed me. You know, stuff like that just feels weird. You know, it's like, yeah, sure, you did hit me, but like, didn't really feel like you earned that hit. Just felt like you kind of had an advantage that didn't make much sense there. But like I said, it's very likely because I'm just used to playing Streets of Rage. Well, I don't know. I can't chalk it up to just being used to playing Streets of Rage, because Final Fight does that too. The moment you throw enemies, you're invincible. Not only are you invincible, but you're clearing the screen of any enemies that are like nearby when you throw somebody. Okay, I guess we're moving on to the next scene. So yeah, I don't know. It's just... Oh, crap. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go Rage here. He's still somehow able to knock me down, but he doesn't do any damage. Even then, actually, I just blocked his... Whoa, I'm stuck. I can't move. That's weird. That was weird. Nice Baz reference, by the way. Alright, now we are on stage 4. Now this is actually one of the stages I mentioned before, back in the earlier update, not earlier update, but earlier version, where the game was running slow as hell, and then like it would run at a proper speed. This is one of the levels that would run at a proper speed, and right now it's actually doing the same thing, but now at least the speed difference isn't as like large. As I said, you know, things are a lot more responsive. So I don't know, maybe they maybe it was kind of a result of them, you know, optimizing the graphics. I'm not sure what they did. You know, I actually would like to know details on like what they optimized to kind of make it run smoother. And I have to say, like, this game has a really nice kind of Sega Saturn feel to it. See, that guy took it, like I said, he took advantage he took an opportunity to actually hit me there. Oh crap. Wow, and I think she actually probably would have hit me there too, in the middle of my throw, if she wasn't that close. Like if she was just far enough to... Shit. Okay. Whoa, okay. That almost killed me. The barrels and the explosion almost killed me. Yeah, if she were standing far enough where there would have been a delay in her getting hit by me throwing the enemy, she would have killed me right there. like right there in the middle of my throw, because you're not invincible while you're throwing. Which, like I said, I don't think it's really cool to... Yeah, see, you see how in some instances, like, the enemies actually try to get aggressive, but it's just there's something about their walk and run speed, or the quote-unquote run speed, because they're really just walking faster. There's just something off there where, see, that guy, that chick just used the guy's voice when she died. Like, you see him, like, he's moving around, he's actually trying to circle around me so he can score a hit. But it's like he takes so long to punch, it doesn't mean anything, you know? These guys only get a shot in because, you know, they're shooting. And like I said, there's no animation to indicate that they're about to shoot. Oh wow, okay. So I guess the jump kick does not work there. Yeah, see, this is the only instance where I actually see the need to use the gun. But even then, I don't really need to use it. Okay, so we're starting stage 4 over, it looks like. That was kind of stupid. I know you guys saw that. Like, I broke open a container and the health item flew off the screen. And I died there because somebody off screen shot me. Yeah, as I said, you know, things get really weird in this game. There's just stuff that doesn't stay consistent in certain things. And that's one of those things, you know. Enemies stay on screen, but some guy will shoot you off screen soon as he spawns. Which I think, if you know, you're gonna have enemies that can shoot instantly, because like I said, there's another thing they're not really consistent on. You got enemies that actually have an animation indicating that they're going to shoot, and then they shoot. And then you have enemies that just shoot. See that? Stuff just flies off the screen. I think they should get rid of that. They should stop having stuff just fly out of containers instead of just being there when you break the container. It just causes a lot of problems. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like this game is not bad by any stretch whatsoever. It's a really good game. There's just some things that like really, it really sticks out like a sore thumb because the game is so good. Like, you have a game do so many things right, the moment you see something kind of stick out that's not, that doesn't feel right, like, you're gonna notice it a lot quicker than a game that just absolutely fucking sucks. And it's like everything wait, did he just shoot? Oh wait, no, I guess I was hitting him. I thought he was shooting the Mohawk guy. Like, I thought the bullets were hitting that guy. Yeah, see, like I said, that guy right there, He has no indicator that he's actually going to shoot you. He just starts shooting. And it's the same thing with her. She just starts shooting. And it's like, what's the point in that? Like, if you want to make the startup time for them shooting slower, cool. But like I said, these enemies don't visually give off the idea that they're going to be aggressive. They walk slow, they kind of just pace and take their sweet time to do anything. And then all of a sudden you see them shooting. It's like it just feels weird and kind of clunky. It's almost weird because it's like there's times where I can't react because it's like, well, are you gonna swing or not, dude? Like, and then it hits you and you're like, oh, okay, he does know how to fight. And don't get me wrong, I do think there's certain enemies that should do that. You know, that they're kind of sneaky with their punches. Like, you know, these normal guys, that's fine. The Mohawk dudes, that's cool for them to do that. They're lower tier goons. And they're probably only going to score a hit by being sneaky, so that makes sense. We have this chick here, for example, like, yeah, she's finally starting to, like, really move around and do stuff, but I really want to save my rage, but, you know, I'm just going to use it here. Yeah, the chick used the guys. Yeah. Things start moving faster too. I don't know what the deal is with that. The Rage song is pretty cool. Reminds me a lot of Killer Instinct. Really, this game's graphics remind me a lot of Killer Instinct, which is actually pretty damn cool. I feel like you can actually fit a Killer Instinct character in there with the same graphics. I think this game also needs a better indicator of when the rage meter is gonna drop. It didn't feel like I didn't really see it depleting or anything. It just, okay, I died there. Yeah, like, you guys just aggress whenever they feel like it. I don't know why they're so leisurely when they do that. And you see her and the other guy, like, she shoots, he punches or whatever, and I'm not even, like, anywhere near where they can hit me. It's kind of funny.